Hey everyone out there, I just wanted to pop in and say I hope you're having a great weekend. My husband and I were able to get away from the kiddos this weekend. Part of the reason I wanted to start this channel, this but did you die type of vlog, is because so many of us don't pay attention to what other people have going on in their lives. We just tend to think like we have the worst and everything's crumbling around us, when in reality some people's lives are actually comical. Like mine and my husband's. If something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong to Matt and I. That's just that we've just gotten used to it. It's just funny now. We just find humor in all of the shit that we come across. For example, we came here, drove several hours to get to a wedding for one of his family members. Checked in, got here the night before, so we didn't have to rush in the morning, and checked in to the hotel, got our room keys, went to the room. He's carrying all of the luggage and I'm getting a cart for him to put stuff on. And as soon as he puts stuff on the cart and goes to pull it, the cart starts to come apart. Like this cart's falling apart. So we're kind of laughing like, oh, this cart's on its last leg, ha 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 type of thing. Get to the elevator and my husband notices this huge stain looking on the carpeting floor. So he walks over there, and as he steps, you just hear squish, and the whole carpet was soaking wet. So after we noticed that, we were like, oh, we cannot wait to get to our room. We get to our room, and might I add, this place is a resort that they're having their wedding at. It's a golfing, ski type resort. So there's multiple buildings. There's not just one. So we go to our room, get up to our room, open the door. It is super hot in that room. I go to turn the air conditioning on and it doesn't work. Then I go and think, oh, I'll just take a look at the, what's on TV. Distract my mind, right? Get over there, go to turn the TV on, and it's a box TV. Some of you probably don't even know what a box TV is. If you are younger than, if you're in your 20s or younger, you probably have no idea what a box TV is because they didn't exist when you were growing up. It isn't quite as bad where you had to turn the knob, but still, box TV. So with all of that going on, I called the front desk and just said, hey, just checked in. When I booked, I had booked our room, and the person I booked with let me know that where we were booking was the newer building, and it would be closer to the reception, and basically said that it was kind of good that we were booking that room. And so I said, if this is your best room that you have, I'm a little concerned. And he said, I don't know who told you that. That's half correct. It is closer to the reception. However, the building's newer than the primary building, but the rooms in the older building are updated more frequently. So he says, come back down to the lobby. I'll get you a new room. So Matt and I put everything back on this cart that's falling apart and get it back to the car. It's a long ordeal because I always overpack. He doesn't even say anything about it anymore because he just knows I overpack. And get to the lobby. Gives us a key for a room in the new area. We get to this new area. We go into our hotel room on this area. And I'm laughing because only us this would happen to. We get into this room and we walk in, hot in that room as well, but all hotel rooms kind of are stagnant, right, when you first get there. So we turn the air on. I notice that it's already on low cool. So I hit high cool and nothing changes. The air doesn't get any colder. It's just continuing to blow out warm air. And he told me, he was gonna upgrade our room since we had the issue with the older one. So we had a balcony. So I told my husband that. He was pretty excited about it. And we go to find this balcony and go to open the door, and there is like cobwebs in the door frame and spiders everywhere. And anybody that knows my husband knows how terrified he is of spiders. Like, he hates them. And there's all these different spiders up there. There's stuff, just it was horrifying. And the door didn't latch all the way, and there was just all of these different things. And we're just thinking, you know what, it's better than the last room. We'll figure it out. And I asked my husband which bed he wants, because it happened to be double beds instead of a king size bed. And he said, oh, I didn't even notice we had 2 separate beds. And I looked down at the beds, and one of them has a blood stain on it. I'm not shitting you. It had a blood stain on it. And I looked at my husband and said, do you think that they'd get us some new sheets? And he just stared at me, and he just makes very inappropriate comments, and that's just who he is. So we're both kind of like chuckling about it. Go back down to the front desk. I'm waiting really patiently because there's this guy in front of us who's like taking a really long time to get a credit card back in his wallet. So we decide we'll walk to the bar, get a drink. Maybe it'll help us sleep better in these rooms, right? Get a drink, come back, and as we are in the bar, we notice it's like all guys. There's like all guys there. There were maybe like 2 girls in the bar. 3, including the bartender. And we look at some of these guys' shirts, and I said to my husband, you know what, I bet they're all here playing golf, and they've been golfing all day. And he said, that probably makes sense, because a lot of them, their shirts are matching. Did you happen to notice their shirts? And I said, no, what's going on with their shirts? And he said, their shirts are they're people in different sex positions. But the image is like this big on their shirt, but there's all kinds of different people in different sex positions all over the entire shirt. That's like the shirt. It's blue, and then white people in different sex positions. So I just like, I couldn't help it. I just started laughing at that. And Matt gets his drink. We head back over to where we're going. This guy's still fumbling with getting his credit card into his wallet. So the guy working behind the desk kind of steps over and says, hey, can I help you? And I said, sure, let me, I didn't want to say it too loud, but any chance you can get us some new sheets? And he kind of looked at me and he said, yeah, I can walk down and get you some. Why? And I said, oh, well, there's just some blood on our sheets. You could maybe even just give me hydrogen peroxide, and I could get the blood out of the sheets, just something to take care of it. And he looks at me, and I said, but it's far better than the other room we were in. And his face just goes pale, and he's like, I am so sorry. There's 2 other rooms that are right next to you. How about I give you the keys to each of them, and you can go ahead and look at those and see if either of those are better. I said, okay. So we take our cards, go back upstairs, look at these other 2 rooms. One of them had a terrible odor, like just a wet dog type smell. And the other one had like a cardboard refrigerator. It was like not even a real mini fridge. So my husband says, let's just stay in the one we're staying in. And I said, okay, fine. He totally knows I'm not happy about it. But I said, fine. Can you please just go get me new sheets? I'm not walking back down there. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I just want to lay down. By this point, it's 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock. I am one of those people that, like, you tell me to watch a movie at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, why the hell are we starting a movie at 8 o'clock? I'm going to be asleep in 15 minutes. Makes no sense. But anyways, regardless, he is very willing and says, yes, I will go get new sheets for you. And some time goes past. I actually dozed off, and he woke me up, came in the room, and kind of came and jumped on the bed and kind of came on top of me and said, babe, every time I hear, babe, I know that he's going to tell me something I do not necessarily want to hear. So I hear, babe, you're not gonna like this, but we're gonna switch rooms again. And I looked at him and said, what do you mean? And he said, I could tell you were miserable, so I talked with the guy, and me and him went and looked at other rooms that were open in the hotel, and I found us a way better room. And we already turned the air conditioning on for you, so it's on, it's getting cold in the room, and the ceilings are way higher, so the spiders are way farther away from you, is what he tells me. And it has a balcony, not a walkout patio where we have to worry about the perverted golfers wandering into our room. So we move up to this room, and it's way better than the last one. And we get everything situated and finally get ready to go to bed, right? So get into bed, kind of get calmed down, wake up this morning, and are trying to figure out, okay, what do we want to do for breakfast? Where do we want to go? Find out that the closest thing around us is like a half-hour drive. So need to go take care of that, need to run a couple errands, just get some stuff that we didn't bring with, just made sense to buy it here. And we go in and take care of that. Well, as we're doing so, we are trying to get to the Dollar Tree. I wanted to go to the Dollar Tree. And we turn and we're trying to figure out how you get into the Dollar Tree because it's on the other side of the road. And there's median in the middle of the road. And you can see all the way up the hill and there's no cut to turn across. So we're trying to figure this out. Matt ends up saying, fuck this. We're going to park in this parking lot. I hope you're okay with running, is what he tells me. So he has me running across like 4 lanes of traffic to get to the Dollar Tree. We do that, get what we need, finally get to Walmart, get the stuff we need. We're on our way back. We get back to the hotel and run into his mom and his sister who had just gotten here for the wedding. So we're totally just at this point like, okay, let's just get ready for the wedding. Things will be better. We'll start running into people we know. And my husband said, are you okay if I go and do some hiking since it's going to take you a while to get ready? And I said, no, just go do it. Go do what you want. And I put a present together, got all of that taken care of. And as he goes to leave, he left and he came back and he asked me about a room key. And I said, well, what do you mean? I had given you the room key. And he's like, yeah, but remember how you told me not to put it next to my phone? Well, it was next to my phone and it deactivated the card. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to the front desk again, Matt? And he's just like, I'm really sorry, but I did bring purified water up for you so you didn't have to drink the water from here. So here we are now, I'm going to start getting ready for the wedding here shortly, getting ready to go to it, but that's truly like just that's an everyday day type of thing that happens in my household all the time. And people don't understand that I don't understand how most people don't have that type of day. Like, that's my day. Growing up, my mom's the same way. My mom used to write a blog because of people always told her to write a book because of how funny things were that would just happen in our house. And it's just, we don't even have the kids with us and all of this happened. When the kids are involved, it's just twice as bad. We went to an antique shop while we were in town and a lady came in with her kiddo and Matt and I looked at each other and said, we're so glad we don't have our kids with us because they would be touching everything. We would have needed to buy so much stuff that they broke already. Like, it's just unreal. what they end up getting into. But long story short, you never know what people are going through. You never know what's going on in their life. Don't judge them. You might think that you have your shit together, but trust me, there will be a day that comes when your shit is not together. And you are going to be that mom that's a hot mess. And you need to start to own it. You need to own it, and you need to just figure out how to get past and through that day and still be able to smile and still be able to do what you need to do to move on, because everybody has those days. Some might not have them near as much as others, but everybody has those days. And I really wanted to start this so that I could start sharing those stories, so that I could start to let other women out there know that it's not just them. It's not just them. You know, everybody tells you, have kids, it'll be great. No, it's not fucking great. They destroy your body, what it looks like. They destroy your house. They write all over everything. They pee and poop on things they shouldn't. And then they start to talk back. And then it never ends. So parenting is not all that it's cracked up to be, by any means. I love my children, love them wholeheartedly, I really do. But there are times where I just wonder, what would my life be like if I didn't have children? I would probably travel. I wouldn't have to be dealing with pets. I wouldn't need to be dealing with money that gets taken out of my purse when it's not supposed to, and then I go to buy something and I look stupid at the counter because I knew I had money in there but it's no longer there. I wouldn't have any of that to worry about. But you know, I just think that we all need a break sometimes. We all just need a break, and we just need to be able to take a hot minute, calm down, and remember that we didn't die. We got through it. We got through what we needed to. We pushed through, and we're to the other side of that obstacle. And more obstacles are gonna come, but we're gonna come over those too. We're gonna come over every obstacle that comes up. And you know what we're gonna be on the other side? One tough ass bitch. That's what you're gonna be. When I was younger, I remember not having nearly the filter. I had way more of a filter. The older I get, the more I don't give a fuck what people think. The less I care. The less I care what they think about what I'm wearing, the less I care about what they have to say, and the less I care about their little childhood friends that are mad because my oldest doesn't get to have some stupid toy that everybody else wants. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not going to let him do it. So I end up being the bad guy. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the bad guy because I didn't die. My kids didn't die. Nobody died. So we just are going to move on, and they'll get used to the fact that they don't get all these fancy things that everybody else gets because they have to work for it. And my eldest, who took money from my purse, she's really going to feel it when half of her Christmas money gets taken away because she stole it from my purse. And that was for her sister's Christmas presents. So we all have it. We all have those days. We all have the unbelievable happen to us. So I will be posting more on here. I will try to start posting more in the moment, but my husband isn't a huge fan of the camera, so we'll try to get him on camera whenever I can. He probably won't enjoy that, but we'll try. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. I know we will be out in the middle of nowhere still until tomorrow evening. We'll get back to our house, and hopefully the gnats will be gone. Anybody who watched my video on the gnats knows my situation there. We bombed the shit out of the house before we left, and we're hoping we come home to no gnats. So pray for me that there's no more gnats, because that felt like it was never going to end. I will talk with you all later. Remember, you aren't dying, and just continue to parent like a mother, okay? Because when you're a mother, you know how to deal with everything. Just deal with all of that shit that happens one flush at a time. And if your kid doesn't flush, teach them how to fucking flush. I'm dealing with that myself. I'm very tired of seeing other people's bodily functions in the toilet. There's no need for it. Just take care of it. But what do? You just push through, and you learn to just smile through it. And your kids will catch on to what your fake smile is and when you're unhappy and you're smiling still versus a real smile. So once you start to be able to have them tell the difference on that, things get a little bit easier because they start to back off when they see that fake smile. Because they know what's coming afterwards and it's not good for them. So, I've said this a million times already. Have a great afternoon. I need to get ready, so I'm ready when my husband gets back. And I will talk with you all soon. Next time, I'll kind of plan out something that we're going to talk about. And I'll post something. You guys can come live. We can have a chat together. We can all kind of chime in. You tell me all of your crazy ass shit that happens in your life. And we'll just go from there. But we're going to get through it together. We're going to continue to build a group of moms, of people that just have the same shit going on. And have pasts that not everybody knows that they have, that make them stronger, that made them who they are today. So we will talk about that, we'll move forward from it, and we will just continue to own the fact that we are a mom and that we have shit we overcome. And it's going to make us one hell of a person in the long run. Just think when the kids leave the house. There will be no emptiness syndrome in my house. I don't know about y'all, but none in mine. Take care, guys.